The topic of my own spin on Christianity is something that I've been thinking about for a while because I wanted to vlog, but I haven't vlogged, because, well, my camera phone's it's a big cluster. And without going into too much personal stuff, I want to tell you what I've discovered about Christianity. Because being a Christian, what Christian is a Christ-like follower of Christ, a lover of Christ. And I okay, I'm gonna have to get into personal stuff because it just won't make sense. I stopped going to church. Well, the church that I was active in for 5 years, I stopped going to that like back in October or something. And I was going to another church, and I was really getting plugged in there and stuff. But I haven't gone to church in like a month. Well, I work usually. I mean, I took a vacation day, but I usually work and get off at 7 a.m. on Sunday, and I'd come home and sleep a couple hours and then go to church. And it just, the way my wife put it, you're not getting enough out of it. And it's true, but also it just wasn't speaking to me because my life is fraught with what might be considered questionable morality. But it's not a moral question. There's a place in the Bible, I can't even remember exactly. I think it's in one of the letters, first letter to Timothy, maybe. I don't know, but it's Paul's talking to Timothy about leaders in the church, and this is the one place in the Bible where they mention monogamy. Really, I mean that I've seen, where it says the bishop must be the husband of one wife. Now, the reason he points it out, it wasn't out of morality. It was out of prioritizing. How can you prioritize your life in such a way? How will you have enough time to be a bishop in the church, to be a church leader, if you've got multiple wives? That's basically what it's saying. Because, and look at all through like the Old Testament stuff, there were multiple wives, and sometimes there were multiple husbands, but not very often. Which that's I think it's just because we live in a patriarchal society or something. I don't know. But anyway, the big thing, Jesus Christ saved me, not from my sins, because I'm still a sinner. We're all still sinners. We're full of sin. But what Jesus taught was that there's love and acceptance. He taught that there's forgiveness. That taught all these possibilities, and he died and resurrected. Because that's the only way you could prove that what he was saying was true, was to rise from the dead. And he proved that. Now, I can already hear the Christian haters dogging on me because I mentioned that he taught this, and they're like, he wasn't just a teacher. Well, no, he wasn't just a teacher, but that's primarily the thing that Jesus was. Jesus was a teacher. Christ is the Word made flesh. The Word is in us. It's alive in us, and that's it. Now, I come up with pearls. That's what I call them for years and years. Pearls are little things that could be fleshed out and be turned into sermons, because I am a preacher on the inside. I've only done a little bit of fill-in preaching in the past, but there's the church in me. It's going to happen. There's a church in me. It's not going to be traditional at all. Not what you'd fundamentally think of as a Christian. So I like to use air quotes when I say that, because most churches, even the churches that say that they're anti-religion, are still religious. Because what religion is a man-made path to God. Well, God's in all of us. I've had this discussion with my wife recently about how how God doesn't talk directly to people. I mean, he could. God, the creator, this infinite creator could, but he doesn't. I mean, it's been thousands of years probably since people have actually talked to God or been talked to by God. Maybe they have been. We don't know. See, that's the thing. We don't know. But God is in us. So when we're searching for God, we should be searching for other people. There's an unconditional love. And it's talked about all the time in the Bible about how, God is love. How people argue, like, and they're angry at God, and how can God be love when so many people die and suffer? And because God's also all of us, so we've got to show love, and showing love is an act of worship. And this was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing that I thought of the other day. I was like, since God is love and love is God, and the more we love, the more we're serving God. So polyamory is worship. But that's kind of a tongue-in-cheek. But my tongue is very, very active, and every joke, except for flatulent jokes, every joke comes from truth in some way. There's a nugget of truth in there somewhere, and I think I need to bring it out. I need to bring it out. The more we gotta love, we've got to love. That's what the world is about. Another really big tenet in the Bible that's not really it's focused on, but not as much as it should be, is how the cliche "no man is an island." I don't think that cliche is in the Bible. I don't know, but the idea is you get more people together, and that's good. Jesus said, "When two or more are gathered in my midst, there I am." And we got to be together. Nobody can be alone. You can't exist by yourself for very long. We've got to come together. And how we come together? We've got to come together in love. There's got to be an open communication, honesty, loyalty, acceptance, and love. It said, I don't know where, this is in the Bible, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. He says it. And if you have all this good stuff, if your church is doing all this stuff, but it has not love, it's just a sounding gong. Just noise. And I think that's what a lot of churches are just noise, because they don't have love. They don't accept. Even if they say they're accepting, most churches, what happens when there's a lesbian in the midst? It's like the elephant in the corner that nobody talks about. But so when you actually talk about it, people say, well, it's sin. It's not. It's just love. It's just love. And that's a big thing for me. My personal Christianity, I guess, has evolved because I've got diverse sexualities in my family. And I'm going to accept everybody. I'm going to love them. I'm going to love my daughter. I don't care if she's with a girl. I mean, I do under my roof. I don't really want it to happen, but you know what? If it does, it does. I mean, so there could be a moral question there, and a lot of my Christian friends would probably judge how accepting I am of that. But hey, whatever. I'm going to take this Christianity. It's in my heart. I know there are like-minded people out there. People who feel this call to Christ, but don't go to church. And the reason they don't go to church is because they know they're being judged. So it's my duty, my calling is to pastor this group, to learn to shepherd, because that's what a pastor is under shepherd. So I need to learn to shepherd a group of people, and it's, hey, I'm getting there. It's a growing process. Yeah, I could keep talking, but I think YouTube has a cutoff, or this phone does maybe, at 11 minutes. So I get the timer, so I'm almost there. So I'm gonna have to stop and upload this. But that's all I have to say about it for now.